So far, Clarissa, looks like you have you and Gary on the call from the board.
Okay, good. Debbie said she's not going to be here unless we need her for a quorum.
Okay.
Hopefully we make this fast and easy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm texting Lucette now to see if she's going to be here.
Okay.
Jim,
Yes, ma'am.
since Nate isn't able to be here tonight, we don't have a secretary. Can you make sure, first of all, that he gets a recording of the meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, and second of all, can you be my
Go-to
roll call person?
Okay.
Yeah, my roll call person, so that we can call out everybody that what they're voting, blah, blah, blah.
Not a problem. Nate will have the recording of the meeting when he shows up for work tomorrow morning.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I take it you got the email I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Was it helpful?
Yes, it was very helpful. Thank you.
Try to send you the appropriate section so you can kind of like educate yourself.
Yeah. Well, and that's gonna be well, we'll get to that when we discuss it, because not sure that was followed, so. All right, Lucette's gonna be here. She's just taking a minute to sign in.
Okay. I'll let you know when she's signed in.
Okay.
And let's see, this is Lise. Okay, here's Lucette. She's signing in now.
Awesome. She said she's trying.
She's trying to plug into the audio now. He's here.
All right. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:33. Jim, can you do the roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Director Becknell.
Here.
Director Yearsley.
Here.
Director Lohr.
Here.
Director Shields. Director Shields is absent. That concludes the roll call.
Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, I skipped Pledge of Allegiance on purpose because it's kind of hard to do it over the Zoom. But Chief Breakbill, can you go ahead and lead us in an invocation, please?
Yes,
Sorry, I kind of got a little off track there.
that's okay. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together, and thank you for all the wonderful things you do for not only our brothers and sisters in law enforcement, but fire and our military people. Thank you for the beautiful Christmas that you bestowed upon the citizens of Yermo and the surrounding communities in the Silver Valley. We are very thankful as we start the new year. And we also pray, dear Lord, that you give our board of directors and our community the guidance and the support so we can continue on to serve our great community. There's just, I can go on, dear Lord, for hours on end, thanking you for everything you've done. But I want to take this time and just put it all together and say, we love you. We appreciate you watching over and protect us. Please watch over our first responders as they do their job. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay. Did everybody have a chance to review the agenda?
Clarissa, this is Gary.
Yes.
I didn't receive anything at all. No paperwork, no agenda, no anything. And I just wondered if I was the only one because it didn't look like to me anything had been sent out to us. So I wasn't able to go over minutes or anything.
Let me see, Gary, where it's at from Nate. It was sent to your Yearsley Gary GP at AOL account.
Yearsley Gary?
Yeah.
Because it should have went to Yearsley GP.
Oh, okay. They messed up then and put Yearsley Gary GP.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Let me.
So I didn't get any of that stuff. So. And
All right.
I called Jim to get it and he didn't receive it either. So I did, and I'm on the road today, so I wasn't able to get it.
All right. I just sent it to you.
Okay. Just a moment. Okay, I'm just trying to see what we have on the agenda right now. I guess I can go ahead and look at it if you want. I just I won't be able to go over all of the minutes and everything if they're on here. I don't see them yet.
No, they just the bills were on there, but we can table that.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to go ahead, why don't we get started and then I'll see. I don't see anything yet. Because it's just approving stuff. So yeah, let's just go ahead.
Okay. Let me get back in here.
The only thing is, like on the new board of directors, I didn't get any supporting paperwork to know who that is and what that is about.
We don't have anything on that yet. This is just a review and discuss how we're gonna go about getting somebody.
Okay,
Okay? Do I have a
Yes.
motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Public comments. This is a time and place for the general public to address the community service district on matters within our jurisdiction that are not currently on the agenda. State law prohibits the board of directors from addressing any issue not previously included on the agenda. The community service district may receive comment and set the matter for a subsequent meeting. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 5 minutes. Yielding time to another speaker is never allowed. Since we don't have speaker cards, we'll just take a show of hands.
I have Lise King has her hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Lise.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I just wanted to let people know that the Mojave Desert Republican Women Federated Club will be having their general meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I think there's social time a little bit before that at the Cattlemen's in Barstow. It is like 25 at the door, I believe, for people. If you do a reservation for next month, it'll only be 20. This month's speaker will be Thurston Smitty Smith, who is our oh goodness, our state representative for our area. Assemblyman is his title, and so hopefully he'll have some updates about what's going on at the state level here. Sometimes we do get Congressman Jay Olbernaut there, and that's always really special to be able to find out what's going on in DC directly from someone who's there. So pretty exciting information. Further, we usually get pretty good updates from county and given the redistricting and things like that, it'd be nice to have an update on that. They'll also probably have someone speaking about the school choice item that they want to get people signed for, which would allow for people to decide where their children go, and therefore the money goes for their schooling of their children, including homeschooling, and any monies not spent can be banked into an education fund. So that's a really good thing. If you need more information about that, I can send you a link to the people who are doing that. Today, I did a part of a project with the Barstow Women's Club. We have been collecting small stuffed animals and putting them in small individual bags, plastic bags, so that they can be donated to our first responders. Chief and I are supposed to get together at some point. He'll let me know when he's available so that I can get his bag of stuffed animals. But I want to let you know that San Bernardino County's Sheriff's Department was curious as to when we would be able to start having in-person meetings. So when we have update on that, if that could be, please get the information to them. They're looking forward to being in person again. And let's see. Oh, also, I want to talk about the Barstow Women's Club real fast. They will be having their 100th year anniversary from when they were founded in Barstow. And to celebrate that, all of the members are participating in 100 acts of kindness in 100 days to culminate to their birthday in, I believe, April. And so I just think it's an exciting idea, and it's not limited to just the women of the club. If it's something you can think about in your mind, just know that it's good with all of the things that are happening in the world. I went into town today, the library is closed again, the bank is closed again, COVID is happening. Just think about how a little extra kindness, a little more often, can go a long way to relieve a lot of the COVID stresses that we're having. So their general membership meeting, by the way, is the first Wednesday of every month. If anyone's interested in that, we are always looking to get new members. So, and one last thing, The Liberty Sculpture Park will be having an event on Saturday. It will be kind of a demonstration and protest regarding the removal of artist Wei Ming Chen's art from, he had a sculpture, the Goddess of Democracy, and the Tiananmen Square Massacre relief that we have over in our park as a reproduction. The originals were in Hong Kong University on Christmas Eve. We were contacted and told that they had been removed by communist officials and within the school. And this is something that's going on in Hong Kong. So it's like a free Hong Kong demonstration and, you know, a support for people who still want to have freedoms, even though they are not here. In coming to our park, you can see the kind of art that I'm talking about. It's very moving and very important. So I don't have a time on that, but probably in the afternoon when it's warmer and before it gets dark. So, and all are welcome. So thank you.
Thank you, Lise. Okay, next I have community reports. The first is the Welcome Center. As the liaison between the Welcome Center and the CSD, I wanted to report that we changed our meeting. It was supposed to be last night, but due to some people being ill, it got switched to Wednesday, the 26th. So if anybody wants to come to that, it'll be at 5:30, or I'm sorry, 6:30 at the Welcome Center. And also we had discussed before about renaming the Welcome Center, and it came to us that we, due to the fact that Mr. Henderson had everything set up as the Yermo Welcome Center with banks and stuff like that and the nonprofit, that we wouldn't be able to change the name. But we were looking to do something to recognize Mr. Henderson for his work over there, getting the Welcome Center together and all that kind of stuff. So we've had a few suggestions. Maybe just putting a plaque up there saying founder Michael Henderson, or in memory of Michael Henderson, something like that. I'd like for the board to think about that, think about what they would like to do over there. And then I will put it on the next agenda to discuss and approve the new signage for whatever the board decides to do. But they are doing his memorial on, it's going to be in March. So we would like to get that taken care of and get it put up there before his actual memorial service. So that's all I have for the Welcome Center. Parks and Rec, Lucette.
At this time, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. And community outreach is Debbie, and she's not here tonight, so we don't have anything for that either. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. The following consent calendar are items expected to be routine and non-controversial. They will be acted upon the board at one time without discussion. Any item may be removed by a board member or a member of the audience for discussion. We had the approval of the bills for December and January. However, with Gary not receiving those, did we want to just table that till next month? Because we won't have a quorum to vote them in if Gary can't vote on it.
Yeah, I think we'll have to, because I won't be able to vote on them without seeing them.
Okay, so we'll table those until next month. So Nate, I know you'll be listening to the recording, so please put those on for next month and make sure that everybody gets a copy of those. Okay, reports, San Bernardino County Representative. Is CJ here?
Yes, he is.
Hello, I'm right
There he
here.
is.
Can you-
Okay. Hi, CJ.
Hello, just real quick, I don't have much, just with the final maps for redistricting for the county were approved last month. So I can confirm now that Yermo, Daggett, Newberry Springs, that tri-community area will be moving over into the 3rd district, or the 3rd district will be absorbing that. And that's currently represented by Supervisor Don Rao. That will probably most likely happen sometime closer to summer when the board gets their new budget. allocated based on unincorporated populations that'll help them with that. So we're looking at probably sometime between summer and at the end of the year when that transition takes place. But we just want to let you know we're out here and we are still here for you until then, and we will make sure that we have a warm handoff. But besides that, that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, CJ. All right, CHP.
Good evening, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Chuck Wagner. I'm the captain of the Barstow CHP office. I have an activity report for the month of December. During that month, we made 2 arrests for auto theft. We issued 70 citations for exceeding over 100 miles an hour. There were 634 citations for other speeding violations. We arrested 9 drivers under the influence. There was 1 pursuit. We investigated 6 fatal traffic collisions, 35 injury traffic collisions, 91 property damage only collisions, and our dispatch center answered 10,335 911 calls. That's the end of my report.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, thanks, Chuck. Anybody from the Sheriff's Department? Oh, I'm sorry, Lise, go ahead.
I have one quick question. Would the CHP be interested in any small animals in Ziploc baggies to have on hand for children in trauma when you're interacting in situations? I realize you're on the highway mostly, but I realized I don't think we've reached out to you.
We definitely use them in crashes. We do have other sources when we get them. So if you have people that are in greater need than us, that's great. But if you have something that you need to get rid of, we definitely.
So
could
if
use
we
them.
have extras that we don't want to put in storage, I'll get in contact with you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys. Nobody from Sheriff's Department?
No.
Okay. Okay, Staff and Fire Department, General Manager, as everybody knows, that's a vacant position right now. For Secretary, Nate is not able to be here tonight. So, oh, and maintenance, I guess, goes along with all 3 of those. So it looks like you're up, Chief.
All right. Okay, so we've had a total of 24 calls for emergency medical services, 5 calls for assisting the public, 3 fire calls, all 3 of them were vegetation. That gave us a total call volume for the month of 32, and we finished out the year of 2021 with 522 calls. We're up about 70 calls over last year. Some of you, maybe all of you have already heard this, but it's with heavy hearts that we deeply regret to inform everyone that one of our brothers, David Spink from Barstow Fire, has succumbed to his injuries he sustained on December 5th, 2021, while attending an emergency on the 15 freeway. David Spink passed away on January 9th and was a 32-year veteran of the Barstow Fire Department. His son is also a Barstow firefighter paramedic. He's survived by his wife, father, and 2 brothers. Yermo Fire will participate in the funeral process and will represent our CSD. Training hours for the month was limited because we had some staff that were ill. And so we had Tuesday night training was on the 4th, and we had water tender operations in joint training with Newberry Springs, Daggett Fire, and all of our other mutual aid agencies. Our fire personnel are currently still working on their task books to get their firefighter endorsements to become fire apparatus engineers, and training for their firefighter 1 and firefighter 2 skills. Our lieutenants are working diligently with our local partners to develop and implement a training plan for the year 2022. They've reached out to Union Pacific Railroad and Southern California Edison for a safety presentation and how to deal with transformer fires. We're also reaching out to our local schools to see how we can become more engaged with the young students. And they're also working on the Assistance to Firefighter grant. Our lieutenants are working. So we're going heavy this year again with the grants. On a good note, it was a fabulous Christmas day. Our fire department was out delivering gifts with Santa. The Yermo Calico Fire Department and the community came together to make Christmas happen. Our fire department had 3 firefighters call out sick with COVID-19 on Christmas. So Captain Mareb and I stepped up to the plate along with Debbie Shields, Matt Shields, and some of my EMT students. And then we delivered to well over 35 families. We worked, Tony, Captain Mareb, and a couple of my students worked Christmas Eve all through until 6 o'clock Christmas morning, wrapping gifts and getting them ready and dividing them up by families. It took us over 4 hours to go over the route. We had lots of donations of toys for tots. Myself, Silver Valley Fire Alliance, Spiritual Club, and many citizens from Yermo stepped up. Also, a huge thank you to Denise for all the cookies and goodies she made for the firefighters. We're so grateful and blessed to be a part of the Christmas with the families of our Yermo Community Services District. And it really was great to see the community of Yermo and realize there's a lot of people who live in this community with big hearts. And that's my report.
Awesome. Thank you. I want to thank you guys too for stepping up and making Christmas happen. I was out of town, so unfortunately you guys didn't get to stop by my house this year so I could see you guys, but you did go by and see my grandchildren, so I appreciate that. So, and again, thank you guys very much for taking the initiative and getting that taken care of and taking care of the community for us.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. And I did see pictures from it and it looked amazing. So, okay. Let's move on. Action item 1, review and discuss approval of resolution number 2021-19. Since COVID happened and we went to these Zoom meetings, we have to pass this resolution each month if we want to be able to do the Zoom for the following month. And at this time, with all the COVID activities going on, I think it's best that we still continue Zoom meetings. So we need to see if we want to approve that resolution. Gary, Lucette, you guys got anything?
I think we need to approve it.
Yes, I agree. We need to continue it, so we need to put it to a vote to approve. So I would motion to approve the resolution.
Okay, do we have any public comments? No public comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the resolution passes and we will be Zoom again next month, everybody. Okay, action item 2, review and discuss the approval of hiring a general manager. So we already got the notice posted, the announcement posted. It's posted at the CSD, the fire, or the post office, and Nate is getting it posted in the newspaper. We tried to do Indeed and do their free, and it wanted our credit cards. So I said, no, we're not giving credit card information out to anybody. Obviously, first of all, without board approval, but second of all, they don't give you a price until after you say what you want. So without knowing how much they're going to charge us, we didn't want to go through with that. So the newspaper, from what I understand, when they run the ad, they also put it in Indeed for you. So Nate was trying to get with the newspaper to see how much it was going to cost to have that ran. And they have not gotten back to him. So we have no way of approving it being put in the newspaper. So at this point, we have one application, but we're giving them, we have to give at least a week once we get it posted. And has to be posted in 3 places. So we're just waiting on the newspaper part at this time.
Did we contact the past people that had applied?
Yes, I personally called them myself, and nobody was interested.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I went back through. I know that Jose had said that he did it, but I wanted to make sure that that was actually completed. So Nate sent me a list of all the prior candidates and their numbers, and I did call, and none of them were interested. It was either because we weren't offering enough money, or a couple of them had new jobs that they were working. So, but I personally did that myself.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
on
so
that, I wanted to bring up one other thing. Indeed, we had used them before, and I know down at Morongo that you only can use them so many months, and then you have to start paying. So I can understand why now they want to be paid on that. So I think
Yeah.
going in the newspaper will be fine.
okay. Alrighty, so Lise, go ahead.
I would also like to mention that if you can work out a post that can be posted on Facebook, there's several different sites like at Fort Irwin and the Marine Corps Base, and as well as the Chamber of Commerce, which they do an email blast. So if you do like a PDF of listing, we can get it posted to the Barstow Chamber of Commerce in their email blast. And I think this is also a potential for us to have access to more candidates that are still locally living.
Okay,
Where-
Lisa, if Nate was able to get that to you, would you be able to get it to whoever at the chamber?
Yes,
Okay, I will. It figures I'm sitting in here with no pen. Oh, but I have a phone.
if you like, I can text you a reminder.
Yes, if you would text me a reminder, that would be great. With everything that you just said, because then I can, we can also do up a Facebook post. That's a
Yes.
great idea.
Yes, and
So,
thank you, Clarissa. I really appreciate your stepping up and volunteering a little extra time to look into the past candidates. I appreciate that.
no worries. Lucia, do you have anything?
No,
Okay, so at this time, we're, it's just an informational item. We're getting it posted, and once we get, some applications in, then we will bring those before the board to, see if we can hire a new general manager. Okay, action item 3, action information item, I should say, discuss appointing of new director. So, Chief Breakbill was kind enough to send me the government codes on what we need to do to fulfill a vacancy once a director leaves. And honestly, I was hoping that Nate or somebody would be here that could clarify whether or not Janika's position was reported to the Register of Voters office when she left. I believe it was, but I do not know for sure. So we're actually going to need to make sure that happened. Secondly, we're supposed to notify them within 15 days. So I'm praying that happened. And then the remaining members of the board, I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's a lot of stuff in here, but we have 60 days once that seat is vacant to fulfill that seat, which we are way past that as well. However, we do have to, again, post this listing for a new director in certain places. So it says in here, let me find it. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I have-
Clarissa,
Yes,
can I say something? So,
sure.
we, like you've mentioned, I just want to go over it real quick again. Like you mentioned, we had 15 days to report it, that we had a director leave. But within that time period, that 60 days, that's
Uh-huh.
all the time period we have to actually try to get a director. And if we do not, we can't continue to do that. We can't even put anybody on ourselves now because it's been more than 60 days. The Board of Supervisors takes it for 90 days. And if they don't do it after that, and it's got to be taken care of, then they can order us to put it on up for an election, which costs a lot of money. So right now, I think what we need to do is have Nate call the Board of Supervisors, or possibly even one of us, and talk to them about what their idea is from here on out. But we can't list to put on a director now because we passed our 60 days. It's out of our hands now. And then we need to see if they're even going to continue to try to appoint somebody. And if they're not, then they're probably going to order us to have an election to get one, which we have to pay to do. So I think before we can do anything, we need to get a hold of the county and find out where we stand on it, since we've missed both of those filing dates
Right.
for putting one on. So we
Okay,
really
so-
can't post to even do it now because we're not allowed to put anybody on at this time.
Okay, so what we'll do is either Nate or myself, if I get a chance, because I'm in training all next week. But I'll let Nate know and see if he can get a hold of the Register of Voters office, let them know. First of all, make sure that it was even reported to them. Second of all, ask them what steps we need to take next. And then I will have him let us know so that we can get done what we need to get done.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I think
Okay.
right now we could only table it till we get more information, because it's been a lot more than 90 days. So we may have a whole different way we've got to go with this.
Yeah, I'm not even sure when she left, honestly. With everything going on with my husband, I know my brain doesn't remember a lot of dates anymore. So,
Maybe we can look that up too then. And I think we better bring it back later, a time when we do have all the information. But I know at this point, we've really passed the 60 days, I know, but the reporting period, even if we didn't report it, we still have to stand by the 60 days.
right. Well, I'll get with them, or I'll have Nate get with them and just let them, because I don't want to go directly to the Board of Supervisors without going through the Register of Voters office first and
Good idea.
finding out exactly where we're at there.
Okay.
So, because they'll probably tell us, did you go through the Register of Voters office?
Yeah.
And let them know. So it's best to go directly to the source first.
Well, I'm thinking since they didn't send us any letters or anything on the 90 days that they would have and tell us what they were going to do, they probably wasn't let know that we even have been short directors.
Right. Well, they didn't let us know last time either when Michael left. So, and I'm pretty sure we went after or over the time limit on
Yeah.
that one. Well,
Yeah, well, we might have slipped past that one, or maybe we're gonna have to redo that one. I don't know.
yeah. So, okay. Well, I'll make sure on and see if I can get a hold of them and find out what we need to do next. Okay. Anybody else have anything on that? All right, we're gonna go ahead and table that one. Okay, review and discuss approve the repair of the gas line. So we got a note from the gas company last week, I believe it was on Wednesday, stating that there was a leak in the pipe that's outside, right behind where the general manager sits, right outside towards the park. Basically where the gas meter is, from what I understand. And the gas company wasn't able to fix it for whatever reason, so they said it was on us to be able to do that. With that being said, I told Nate it was an emergency, so it needed to go ahead and get fixed. So the fire department came over, they checked and made sure everything was good. There were no leaks, no gas, no smells, nothing anywhere. They used their little meters and checked everything very thoroughly for me, which I appreciate. And made it so that we knew it was safe for Nate to go back to work on Monday. And Nate got a hold of a couple people He called Clemmer. Clemmer couldn't do it because they don't break ground. So then he went with Hart Plumbing, and Hart Plumbing said they would notify him if they could send somebody out. Well, they didn't respond to him, so he called Zimmer, and Zimmer was supposed to be there, and then they didn't show up, but they finally showed up. Long story short, it's been fixed. It's been inspected, and Nate's getting on the phone. He didn't get a chance to today because he couldn't get through, but he is going to be contacting the gas company to let them know that everything's been taken care of and get the gas turned back on. The total cost of that, I believe he sent it out to everybody, but just for the, so we can notify the public. The total cost for the repair was $955. And that was replacement of a coupler, a pipe, the air test, and inspection.
Yeah, I think that's a very good price for that. And it was under an emergency, so I don't know that we would really need to approve it. But I think that was a very good price, and that was a good job getting that put together because of everybody, not showing up, and as hard as it is to get somebody. So
Yeah,
I don't think necessarily we would have to vote to approve it. I would call it an emergency that we just had to do.
okay. Lucette, you have anything?
No, I agree. It had to be done.
Okay, any public comments? Go ahead, Lise.
Just one quick one. Technically, this should be covered under your consent calendar, like for your next vote on that. Make sure that this expenditure is in that, because you'll be voting to approve paying the bills.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll make
So
sure. it's
it
in
will
the-
technically be voted on through the consent calendar.
Right.
And I
when
do
we
also
the-
agree that it was a worthwhile emergency expense. So good call, Clarissa. Thank you.
Right. So, yeah, and it was, never mind. I won't even go into what a hassle it was. Okay, so that's just a discussion and information, just so that I could let you know, everybody know where we were at with that. And going on to item 5, discuss and approve temporary office hours. Right now we have our office hours set from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. With Nate, he has another job, so we are not going to be able to be open those later hours right now until we can get a general manager. Nate says he's available 10 to 2, either 4 or 5 days a week, whichever we would like to do. So I am open to comments.
Well, I would like to say that I think the 10 to 2, 5 days a week more than offsets for the people to be able to get there at one time or another. And second off, we don't really have an option. He's our only person. So I would go with the 10 to 2. My opinion is 5 days a week.
Okay. Lucette?
I agree with Gary. I think we need to do the 10 to 2, 5 days a week.
Okay. Any public comment? Okay, do I have a motion to change the office hours from 10 to 2, 5 days a week?
I motion that we change them to that 5 days a week, the 10 to 2.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will inform Nate that we will need him those 5 days a week. Okay. Director reports. Director Yearsley, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. I wanted to thank Jim. I've been up here in Idaho. I'd like to tell you working really hard, but I've been playing a lot. So anyway, Jim has kept me up on what's going on. Jim sent me the information on the new director position that we, the vacancy stuff. I was able to read all that, get all the information together. So I want to thank him because I know he's very busy right now because he is covering the Morongo Valley Fire Department at the same time and all of his school stuff. So he's very busy and I wanted to thank him. He does all of our Zoom meetings, sets them up, runs them for us. Anything we need done, he's been doing. So I want to give him a big thanks for everything he's done and keeping the Yermo Fire Department up and going.
Thank you, Gary. Lucette, do you have anything?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Okay, so I have some things. First of all, I wanted again to reiterate what Gary said about thanking Jim and the fire department. When I asked them to go over and make sure that the CSD was safe and there wasn't any hazards for our employees to be able to go back to work, they were right on it. They called me, they set up a time to meet them over there. Very professional. They explained to me as they were going through the office, everything they were looking for, what would happen if there was something there, just really thorough in what they were doing. I understand that it was a teaching moment for one of the firefighters, so I was really glad to be able to witness that as well as they instructed him on what to do and how to do it. So very well done. Very well done. And I really, really appreciate you getting that letter out for me so that we were covered in all aspects of that. And also just for everything that you've done for me personally this last week, helping me with things that needed to be done for the CSD so that I was well prepared. So thank you for that. The next thing I wanted to let you guys know is Daggett is sponsoring free COVID testing. It's going to be on Saturday and the time is from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is going to be over at the Daggett CSD office on 2nd Street in Daggett. They're hoping that they can get a good turnout. It's going to be free. It's sponsored by Prime Medical. And they're hoping that if they get a good turnout, that they may be able to do it every week. If not, maybe at least a couple times a week, especially right now with the way COVID's ramping back up and hitting everybody. You know, our community really needs that. So I appreciate them letting us know about that. And hopefully that some of our citizens will be able to use that resource. I know at work, we are back to a skeleton crew. I still have to be in the office because I do voluntary income tax. So I will be there, but we are back on a skeleton crew. So I'm looking towards things getting more into a shutdown mode with the way COVID is going. If that happens, we may need to do like we did last time and close down the parks and stuff, but that's only if it gets any further in the CS, whatever it's called, tells us to do that. So, but that's all I have. Director Shields isn't here.
Clarissa, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I wanted to thank you for all you had stepped up and done this week. I know your family, you've had a lot going on and had to step out for a little while, but as Debbie had to step out, I want to thank you because of all the problems that hit and the amount of time you had to put in to get all this done. I want to thank you for all that.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to what you just said. I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for Tony, Alex, Timothy, Lou, Ramon, and Dean. You know, they're the glue that holds our department together, and they're the ones that make my job easy. And so I wanted to make sure that they were acknowledged, and they're actually the glue that holds our department together. So I wanted to thank them and let them know that nothing goes unnoticed. I'm speaking probably for the most of the community and at least for all board members. A big shout out. Thank you.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I don't, I don't remember a lot of names and a lot of faces. I remember Tony only because we worked it together a little bit. But I believe it was Timothy.
They're all on the call. They're all on the board
Yes,
meeting.
yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
For-
Yeah.
Yes,
He came over, and the chaplain, I don't remember his name, but he came over. And so, when I say fire department, I'm speaking of all you guys, and I just really appreciate your help.
You're welcome.
So. Okay, identification of items for a future meeting. So I want to put on there, to discuss what signage and to discuss and approve what signage we want for the Welcome Center. And then does anybody else have anything at this time?
Yeah, we're
Lee?
moving, we tabled
go
the
ahead,
one,
Kurt.
we tabled the director's position that we were gonna look at. So we need to put that on next month also to see what
Yes.
we find out.
Okay,
That's all I have.
okay, and we'll probably be putting on there, it depends on how soon we get applications rolling in for the general manager's position. If we get some applications, and the deadline is prior to the meeting, then we may call a special meeting because we really need to get somebody put on. But if not, then we will add that also to the next, agenda.
Okay, that sounds good.
Lise, did you have something?
Yeah, first, I think we skipped Director Becknell regarding the director's report.
No, she said she didn't have
Oh,
anything
she
at
didn't
this
have
time.
anything new.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just say, Director Becknell, please let us know when you want to start working towards some of the ideas that you wanted to do for the springtime, and anything you want to progress. I know you had a pretty exciting idea about trying to get more activities going. I also recognize COVID is kind of on the upswing again. 'Tis the season for it. But please keep us in mind for that. And the other part is a reminder that there were steps that we need to be taking for the budget.
Yes, I was just gonna ask that if Gary could, let us know. I know you're in Idaho right now. And probably not knowing exactly when you'll be back, but if you could, get us an update and get that ball rolling so we can get the budget finished off.
Yes, we can put that on. Brittany from Morongo Valley sent me all my old information and hers that we did on ours. So I can do a report next time on exactly what steps we have to do. We've got that all taken care of now. We might even be able to get some of that started. I'll get with Jim. Some of the startup has to do with fire chief and so, like the finance people and stuff before you get into the budget. So maybe Jim and I can get together, but I think we'll be ready to do a report in the next meeting for that.
Okay, and can you just send me how you want it worded on the agenda so that we don't put it the wrong way?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that.
Okay. All right, any other items? Oh, go ahead, Lisa, I see your
One
hand.
last quick thing regarding the Welcome Center. I just want to remind you that you don't necessarily have to change the name of the center itself. You could, since the building is owned by the CSD, name the building. So it could just be called the Michael Henderson Building. Anyways, just a suggestion. And it doesn't mess around with any of the signage or the other stuff, because then you just make a little plaque and it goes on the building.
Right, good idea.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll take that idea back too as well, to Mrs.
Hey,
Henderson.
Clarissa, why don't we
Yeah.
put that on for the next meeting? That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we need to, go ahead and add that on. I think I said that, approve, the Welcome Center
Oh,
sign.
okay. Okay,
Yeah. So, okay, anything else? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
All right, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, this meeting is adjourned at 7:23. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you. Be safe,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.